If you apply these 5 rules, it's really hard not to get better. 3 concepts introduced by the linguist: spaced repetition, immersion, and comprehensible input. I'll put this in a very simple words so that you don't have to read the entire books. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the video today. Today I'm gonna share everything I learned for learning English in the last 14 years. Everything. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Youngjin. I've been running English education business for the last 5 years. I helped hundreds of people who are struggling with their English even though they lived in Australia and Canada for a long period of time, but I helped them fix and then go to the next stage. So there are many things I've learned and I've applied to myself and I applied to my students. So I want to compile everything and then give it to you for free. So the first one is environment setting. You've already heard this many times, 환경, but there's a level to it. 누구는 그냥 주변에 외국인 친구들 돌아, 그리고 누구는 외국으로 오든지 아니면 외국 일자리를 하든지 아니면 외국 사람들이랑 친구들을 많이 만들든지. Yeah, these are the basic things. Other things you could do that helped a lot for my students that had gone from B1 to C2 is that not only changing the offline, they changed the online as well. You literally just want to find the channels that are understandable for you. If you find it too difficult to understand, if they are like only 30% to 50% below that you could understand, then it's too difficult, right? But if you aim for something beyond 60 to 80% of the time that you're understanding the whole context and then the picture of where the video is going, where the content is going, that's the right one. You just find the one that you like and then just watch it non-stop. And I'm gonna link another video here to how I specifically set everything. Next thing is the identity rebuild. This one helped a lot for 3 of my students recently, Harry, Connie, and then Jason and Kyla. So all of these 3 people had a common. They were in early 20 or mid 20, and they all had similar personality where they don't have extreme extrovert traits, so that even though they were kind of well spoken in Korea, in the environment in Korea, they found extremely hard to communicate with the other people because they're not confident. You go to Australia or you go to other countries and then the people are like intimidating, so your confidence drops, and then you end up not making enough friends, so that leads to not speaking enough, and then that leads to slower growth in English. So you have to completely shift how you act and behave towards how you think about yourself and how you treat yourself and how you push yourself in the social setting and in the time that you spend alone as well. You really do benefit to unimaginable degree when you work on how you see yourself and who you are when you're in overseas or when you're trying to push yourself. This applies to every area of life. It's not only English. It applies for working out and building the body you want and building the business or building the career you want. It applies to all degrees. If you don't push hard, if you don't change yourself, you cannot become 1% of the anything you're trying to achieve, right? So these people have completely changed how they see themselves by, I am shy and I don't speak to these strangers well and I don't speak perfect English, so I'm shy and I don't want to speak unless I speak perfect English. To someone who can, I don't care if I make mistake or not. I'm just gonna say whatever I need to say first, and then I'm gonna focus on connecting and delivering my message as a priority. And I'm not gonna be worried if anyone don't understand me, but I'm gonna focus on communicating that and then connect the dots from there. They started to see themselves as, I'm someone who can speak English like a native speaker. I'm someone who make mistakes in English because I'm not a native English speaker, but I'm going to learn it. I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to improve it and become the better person. And I'm going to be okay with it. I am not perfect, but I'll be perfect. I'll be close to perfect. I'm worthy. That's the key point. So you build confidence within you that you are okay, even though you don't understand everything. That's the key point. The people who get annoyed when you make mistake, when you make hesitation, and then the person say, huh? And they pressure you like, come on, say it. And then this kind of attitude is very disrespectful and impatient. This person probably doesn't speak another language. If you are not willing to understand and communicate as someone who's trying to help, you don't need that relationship. 그치 친구 아니야. Yeah? Forget about it. So don't let that kind of experience and people control your mind. You are worthy enough to show your confidence and yourself with imperfect English. And people will like to see you speak more with imperfect English than perfect English. Really. That's simple. Alright, the next one is exposure maximization. 노출 극대화. Yeah? We all say 영어 노출만 많이 시키면 돼. Yeah? 하루에 8시간 정도 노출시키면은 아마 내일이 는다고 느낄 수 있는 정도. Yeah? If you use them actively, listen to it actively. But the problem is that most of the time people cannot make 8 hours exposure. So sometimes you have to make a sacrifice. 같이 사는 사람들 외국에 있으면 더 좋지. 같이 사람들 외국인 친구들이랑 이제 같이 살아야지. 그러면 이제 문화 교류도 하고 영어도 배우고 또 많이 할 수 있고. 그다음에 배우자 파트너. I met English speaking girlfriend like just because I want to learn English. And hands down it's the best. You need to get friendly, you need to express your emotion, you need to love and fight as well, you know? So it's very useful. So hands down, getting a partner is best. And then another one, studying, university or college, it helps, but I'm not gonna say it's the best. Let me make a tier of it. So getting a girlfriend is top S tier. Getting a flatmate is A tier. But if you make a friend or if you become a best friend with this flatmate, then it becomes S tier. If you go to a class or language school, C tier. Language school, not really helpful. I've tried and I've met hundreds of students who tried. It doesn't work really well. But it gives you a space to speak to a friend at your level. So you don't really learn, but you get a chance to speak. You can do that with ChatGPT. Next one, making friend with ChatGPT or communicating in English with all your AI apps and interfaces and devices. Setting everything in English from Google searching and reading and learning. This one, A+ tier. And then the more you do, and then the better it could get. What could make it S is that if you completely change the way you learn to English, then it's a huge boost to your English learning. So search the information in English and learn about that in English and think about that in English and talk about that in English. That's the best way. Okay, the next thing is habits, 습관. There are many habits that you could do. There are many habits you could do, starting from thinking in English, refusing Korean content whenever you want to watch Korean stuff, whenever you binge watch Netflix or short form contents, you could choose to resist. These are the tiny habits that moves you forward. So you do need to build these little habits. You need to form a new habit. For example, you could have books next to you. You could have apps that are accessible to you on your phone that form a new habit. Whenever you have time, whenever you have the free will that you don't have much to do, you could go on and do something related to English. So you're forcing your brain and space, giving you space to think naturally flowing into English. That is the habits that we're talking about. So for students, I make the habit tracker for each student that are tailored for them. There's a 3 steps of routine that he could do during the day. When he wakes up in the early morning before he goes to work, he has 45 minutes of English studying session. And then during the lunch break, and then after work, when he comes back, and then he can do another 40 minutes. And each 45 to 1 hour looks like this. So by structuring the entire system like this for the students, while during the class we study specifically improving the weakness, where I can see that this person needs to speak more and try and express their mind, but where is it getting stuck? What is it, the word, or is it the thinking in brain? And then I construct another class based on their weakness to help them boost their confidence in that area. So yeah, for Gani, for example, he's my cousin. He was 22 when he first came after army, after finishing his military service. He was very not confident at all. This is what he used to be like, and then this is how he is like now. Now he works at really fancy restaurants and a bar, and finishing his TAFE to get PR, and he has his girlfriend from different countries, and he's studying really well in the university as well, and hanging out with many different friends from also all different nationality groups. We have Carla, who had avoided all the interactions with people to gradually building confidence, having small talk with colleagues at work, and then now going to the meetings and parties with people who's running the business who are Australian, talking about self-development and trends in business and AI and economies and stuff like that, like cold shower and dopamine and whatnot. And then we have also Jisang, who has made from B2 to C2 in 6 months. That is crazy result, 6 months. He went from not confident, cannot speak more than just the daily stuff, to being able to talk about most of the topics at a shallow level to a deeper level for the topics that he's confident and familiar with. So this works. There's no way you're not gonna get better. All right, cheers guys. Bye.